Hello and welcome to another episode and the first episode of the Retail Podcast. I am lucky enough to be joined by David, the co-founder of Kepler, who will introduce himself in 1 minute and then tell us all about what you're hoping to get out of NRF. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and what could anyone coming to the show expect from coming to the Kepler booth.
Hi, my name is David. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Kepler Analytics. Super excited to be here at the NRF and at the Retail Podcast with Alex. Thank you so much for having us.
Pleasure.
So what we do is we focus on providing e-commerce-like analytics for bricks and mortar stores. And one of the key differences is that we can help deploy this solution within weeks and help a retailer actually get results in terms of growing their sales within a matter of months. And we do that by empowering associates to know how to use that data to drive actions at the store level. Okay. And today we've got 500 clients around the world in about 35 countries, used in about 30,000 locations plus. And it's a really exciting time for us.
So many things to unpack, and we're going to try and be really concise. So what do you think the biggest data point that you guys provide for retailers that's going to be the thing that, especially as we go into, if you like, a budget restrictive environment where spending is going to be limited, where do you think is the data sets that retailers are going to really appreciate from what Kepler can do for them?
So it starts with understanding the shopper journey and the pathway to purchase. What does the shopper do all the way from walking past outside the store to walking inside? How do they walk through the store environment? Where do they interact? Where do they stop? And measuring that conversion rate all the way down to the actual purchase itself at the point of sale. And understanding where those leakages are occurring. Where are they not purchasing? Where are they dropping off? So for a retailer, in an environment, look, regardless of whether it's a booming economy or if it's a challenging economic environment, being able to ensure that you don't lose your customers in that pathway, in that journey to purchase is absolutely key to ensuring both productivity and sales growth. And I think in a previous podcast, you mentioned how retailers would love to be well known about sales growth more than saving costs in one of your podcasts. And a key driver of achieving that is ensuring that we use data effectively to drive the right actions at store level on a daily, real-time basis.
Yeah. What's the technology behind it? So are you using sensors? I presume there's infrared. Tell me about the physicality of it. So I understand. So just to summarize, what you're saying is, look, it really doesn't matter what and it's always great when you start recording, someone comes to clean. Oh. So you can.
The NRF experience.
It's the first day. The show isn't open, and so we're just trying to get ahead of the game. So unpack a little bit about how the impact on physical store. Do you take up space? What is it? Because obviously that one of the first things store managers say, it's my store. What are you putting in my store? So talk to me a little bit about that, what that looks like for you guys.
So unlike a lot of other solutions out there that measure customer behavior and traffic, we don't use video. Okay. So what we use is a phone detection system.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's called a radio frequency density technology. And the sensor is it's really the size of a phone, and we plug it into a wall socket. So earlier, I talked about the ability to deploy the solution in a matter of weeks. And for a lot of our clients, not all, but a lot of them, we mail the sensor directly to the stores and they plug it into a wall socket.
Yeah.
And the sensor then learns about the environment and produces the data on traffic, on dwell times, bounce rates. It continues to learn about the store environment as well. Right. So it is fairly invisible. It doesn't need line of sight. Yeah. And we can deploy it at the speed of FedEx.
Got you. So is it looking for... It's looking for the EMEI numbers of... No.
So to clarify, it's looking for radio energy emission. Okay. So So the sensor that we use detects mobile devices just like a thermal camera detects body heat. So what this means is, on practical terms, is the ease of scalability, like I talked about. Very easy to just install it on the ground level at a wall socket.
Yeah.
But on top of that, privacy is so a lot of the privacy laws globally are not applicable. They just don't apply. We don't actually have any identifier on the customer when they leave. So it's not like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or anything like that. It is purely the energy being emitted by the phone and how it moves in the store.
Love it. So going back to one of the earlier questions in terms of key learnings, because obviously the geography and the number of customers that you've got that are using the solutions, quite impressive, really. Tell me one of the key sort of outcomes, or if someone's coming to the booth, what are the questions that people are always problems people are trying to solve that you feel that you guys are, you mentioned the path to purchase, right? You mentioned the shopping missions, but if you could just expand on a bit of the outcomes, if you like, from that.
Oh, 100%. You know how we always talk about customer behavior?
Yeah.
One of the key things that we help our retailers in terms of how they unlock value out of using the Kepler system is using customer behavior to drive associate and store manager behavior. Right. So we use the data to give them prescriptive recommendations throughout the day in real time on what they need to focus on. And it's driving those behaviors and actions in the store through your associates. Wow. And we partner up with our clients to help their associates get trained up on how best to use this sort of conversion data and behavioral data. For example, if dwell times in the certain area in the store is going up, how do you take action on that? If the fitting room utilization is going down, what's the issue there? Address it so that the customers get that best experience that they can at the store. Yeah. And we surface up the opportunities for the store to use. Now, again, in another podcast, you mentioned the idea of a zero UI world. Now, we're not there yet, but I think at some point it would be very powerful to be able to get to a point where we can provide very concise actions that the store teams can just take and make a difference on the fly.
Yeah. That's brilliant. David, I could sit here and listen to you talk for ages. I love it. It's fantastic. I think it's going to be brilliant. Tell me the booth number, what floor you are, where people can find you. So go ahead.
So booth 5815, right next to Google. Yeah. So you wouldn't miss us at the main floor. So if you just come in, and we'll be very, very happy to talk to you and give you more of an overview about Kepler. So excited to see you.
Brilliant. Thank you, David. Thanks. And this is